So my family is coming to visit over the weekend and I'm currently on my way to meet up with them. We're gonna go to the museum and then afterwards we're gonna do some book shopping and we're gonna go eat something somewhere, probably sushi because sushi's my favourite. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. To go to university in like 2 minutes, but I just wanted to tell you that I started reading The Binding yesterday evening and I absolutely love it. I only read the first chapter so far, but Bridget Collins' writing is so beautiful and the copy just looks stunning as well. There are illustrations on the side as well, I'm going to show you later, and it's just so well written so far. I only wanted to read the first page to get a feeling for the writing, but I couldn't stop myself and read the entire first chapter because her writing is so stunning and I can't wait to continue reading. But first I need to spend my day at university and go some grocery shopping as well. Today we're going to look at medieval manuscripts for the first time and I'm so excited. I literally can't wait. So I'm gonna quickly put on my things and then I'm going to get going. Okay, so now I am back home and I will talk about the book that I finished this morning a little bit later because right now I'm still working on a book about manuscripts. I'm currently looking at Gothic illuminations. So before I have been looking at early and mid-medieval manuscripts and now I'm looking at late medieval manuscripts. Yeah, so that's what I'm currently doing and I'll update you later. Okay, I just found out something really cool that I absolutely need to share with you. I just found out about a type of book that was quite popular in the 15th century specifically, and it's called the Book of Hours. And I've got an example over here. This is what a page in a Book of Hours might look like. It was basically a book for private prayer. And what was really cool about it is that you could go to the scriptorium and order one of these books. And the scriptorium, they would have written and illustrated the books. And you could basically go there and ask them to make a copy for you. And there were some basic texts that they would include in all of the Book of Hours. But you could personalise it. So you could tell them to put your family crest in there or to illustrate you and your family. You could basically personalise your book, which I think is extremely cool. And there are like a couple of examples. For example, in the one I showed you here, you've got some crests But there also should be another example somewhere here, I believe. Like this one, you've got a crest here as well, and then you would have the family illustrated over there praying in church. And I think this is so cool that you could basically personalize your book and they would illustrate it for you. Of course, it was only for wealthy families, but I think the idea is just extremely cool, especially because the entire book is handwritten and hand illustrated anyways. So the option that you get, that they would completely personalize it for you, I think is just really cool. And I would definitely like to have one of these, like a personally illustrated copy of my favorite book. That would just be so cool. But yeah, that is really all I wanted to share. I was just really excited about it. Now I think we should bring those back. So I promised that I would get back to you with an update on how I like the Hedwig by Skye McKenna, and it's actually so cute. I think I showed you the cover before. I really liked it, to be honest. It was basically just very reminiscent of my childhood books that I read when I was 8 to 12, I believe. I think this is the audience for this book. But it was so cute. The main character was a bit stupid sometimes, I have to admit, because she was basically just walking into danger all the time. And I was like, you could have just prevented that by thinking for 2 seconds. But she had a motive, which was finding her lost mother. And I think her character development was great as well, and the character development of some other characters too. She's basically finding a friend group throughout the book, which kind of makes her found family as well, I believe. And the whole vibes of this book were just so immaculate, so I would very much recommend it to you if you're in the mood for a witchy book that is more aimed towards children and therefore very wholesome and cute. And yeah, just was a great read, to be honest. And then I decided to continue with the binding. This is what it looks like. It's sparkling and shining, and it's just so beautiful. It has beautiful end papers as well, and some illustrations throughout, and you can really tell that the people who designed this book put a lot of thought into it. But the writing is also so beautiful. Bridget Collins manages to create this very dark academia atmosphere that basically manages to immerse you fully into the book. So it's basically about this guy who has been sick for a while, and eventually his family sends him off to become a binder. And bookbinding in this world is very different to what it is in our world. It's kind of like historical fantasy. So basically he becomes an apprentice for this bookbinder, and he learns how to bind books. And binding books in this world means that you're binding people's memories, and once you bound the memories, the people will then forget them. So this is a very interesting concept, I believe, because it's quite metaphorical in a way that authors put a lot of themselves into books as well sometimes, but they do not forget their memories once they put them in the book, and the people in this world do. I've never read anything like this before. I am currently about 100 pages in, I believe. I'm on page 138, and I really can't wait to read more of it, but I do have to say that I need to find the quiet moment to really absorb the atmosphere. So I'm not reading it in between really, but I really want to sit down and fully immerse myself in this book and in Bridget Collins' writing as well. So yeah, that was my quick book update. I'm also listening to an audiobook right now, which I rarely ever do, but this is one of the best audiobooks I've listened to. The narration is so nice, and it is The Crimson Moth. And I know that this book has been very popular, I think on Book Talk specifically, but I saw it all over YouTube and Instagram for a while as well. It's basically a romantasy about a witch and a witch hunter, and I really like it, probably because of the narration. I don't know if I would like it as much if I would read the book, because the main characters are acting a wee bit childish sometimes, not in the worst way, it's just sometimes I just wish they would have acted a little bit more mature. But then they're at the beginning of their 20s, I believe, so it's not really that bad and it's not bothering me that much. As I said, the narrator of this audiobook is absolutely awesome. I'm listening to it on Audible, and yeah, I just really like it, and I can't wait to see where it is going. I'm really curious about how the author is going to wrap things up, but I also just discovered that there will be a second book in the series which will come out at the beginning of next year, I believe, so I can't wait to get my hands on that. I believe it's going to be duology, which I really like. Duologies are not that much of a commitment, and I'd rather read a duology than like 7-book series right now, because I've also got some other books that I want to read soon. But yeah, so far so good. This is my little reading update, and I'm gonna go back to studying now because I really need to get on with it, because I'm having a presentation in a couple of weeks that's about history in the museum. It's quite research intense, but there is a lot of secondary literature on it. It's a very interesting topic, but it does take a little bit of time to like fully grasp the entire topic, and that's what I'm working on currently. And then I will get into more detailed research and analysis of one exhibition that I chose and that I visited a couple of weeks ago. It's an exhibition about abbeys and about scriptoriums and medieval manuscripts, and I really liked it, but I think it's going to be even more interesting once I analyse it, and I do have the catalogue as well, so it's going to be very close to the actual exhibition and the objects that they were presenting. That's it for now, and I will get back to you soon.